What's going on, everybody? It is time for an all new video. I hope you're as excited as I am to talk about this specific series. This is a series that I've really enjoyed quite a bit. I played the game something like 5 years ago, and ever since then, I've had just like a deep love and appreciation for this world and for like one of the lead characters. I really want to talk about this. This is like a side story for something that happens in the game, and if you've played the game, you might remember the side story. Or if you're like me and you played it an eternity ago, you might not remember the side story that well. That's played out in like data pads or whatever. But this time around, we actually get to do a deep dive into the events. And this is just the first volume. As of this video, only the first volume is out. And then once the second volume drops, maybe I'll do another video and go more in depth into it. But I really want to get to the bottom of this. Let's talk about Yora, Pearl Harbor Descent Record. I've been a diehard fan of Nier Automata ever since I downloaded the game off the PlayStation Store almost 5 years ago. It had been a while since anything captivated me as much as Nier Automata. I spent countless hours running around doing quests and side quests for my fellow androids who happened to be resistance fighters. One of my favorite aspects of it was how amazing the story was. I went into it not expecting much. It was a Japanese hack and slash with a maid as the protagonist. I saw this at first and went, nah, I'm good. Thanks, but no thanks. Then I'd begun to see people all over giving it high praise, and I decided, screw it, I'll give it a shot. Once it gets going, as you meet the different characters, a whole world opens up, and there are real-life lessons to be learned from the story, and to be honest, it will completely obliterate your beating heart. This game is as amazing and beautiful as it is brutally soul-crushing. At a certain point in the story, you will meet a resistance fighter named Anemone, and once you get to know her, you'll unlock her history, her backstory. It'll become available through a set of text logs on a terminal at the resistance camp. And that backstory is the basis of this manga, Yora Pearl Harbor Descent Record. I'm going to be mixing my thoughts up on Nier Automata along with this manga, as it is pretty difficult to talk about this story without spoiling it. This manga gives further context to what happened during that conflict hundreds of years ago. If you've played Nier Automata, this serves as a great companion piece to that tie-in. Even if you haven't ever played Nier Automata, it is still a solid read with incredible artwork, though I highly recommend you go out and spend time with it. I was ardently against ever playing it because it felt like a joke with the maid and servant outfits, but it is genuinely one of the most wonderful experiences I've ever embarked on. You don't expect a game to go into the spaces it does and explore the topics it does, and to the level it explores them. The elements and ideas that make it special aren't all present here, and there isn't nearly enough story here to get to that point either, with this manga only being 2 volumes deep. In this sub-story, we follow a group of 4 Yora units that get sent on what is essentially a suicide mission. There were initially 16 of them, all but 4 are taken out almost immediately, including the captain. The events of this tale are all told during the 14th Machine War. These wars are everlasting. Even the machines the Yora units fight grow and evolve. Humanity has a base on the moon, and the Yora units are on a base orbiting the Earth. From this base, they are sent out in squadrons to fight the growing machine threat for the glory of mankind. There's far more to it than that, but I'm assuming some of you haven't played Nier Automata, and I don't want to spoil that experience. I myself haven't played Nier Replicant, but I do plan to at some point in the future. Nier Replicant is a much more personal story than the one told in Nier Automata, and it was a pretty cherished tale by the fanbase. We even meet one of the characters from Replicant in Automata, though I won't spoil that either. This video, however, is meant to be about Pearl Harbor Descent Record, but it's difficult to talk about it without mentioning the history before it. In Pearl Harbor Descent Record, we follow a 2B unit and her crew as they try to survive during the aftermath of a failed mission to Earth. They are left for dead in hostile territory, and it's up to them to figure out an escape plan to make it back onto their ship. Their crew isn't the most tight-knit, classic case of you don't have to like each other, but you do have to learn to work together if you want to make it out alive. They meet other androids while on Earth, though they aren't friendly, not at first. But a tenuous agreement does form between the two parties. There is a separate story to be unraveled here about what happened hundreds of years ago and how these earlier models have survived the fight against the machine threat for so long. Still, them having that divide gives them something to work towards, becoming a stronger unit in the end. So, I was a huge fan of the game, and I actually have a 2B tattoo on my leg, which I will show you over here. And what's funny is today, before I was gonna record, I was set, today to record this video, and as I'm like going to record the video, I'm looking like I'm scrolling through my news feed or whatever, and apparently there's gonna be a 2B, like life-size figure of 2B, and I thought it was hilarious because today's also Valentine's Day, and it's funny that that article came out today, and I just thought it was funny, that there's like a life-size figure coming out, and I wanted to see a price point. I wanted to see how much they're going to charge for it, because the fact that you're already paying like $2,000 for a statue, like this thing's going to be like 10 grand or something, you know what I mean? Like a life-size figure of 2B, and then like who knows how many of them they're actually gonna make, because I thought they're gonna make that many of them. That's not what this is about. There was just an aside, that I thought was interesting. That was funny. That was announced today, and today being Valentine's Day, I had like a meme that I also wanted to show you. We'll put that there as well. Yeah, I love Nier Automata. Like, I'm a huge fan of the game, and I've only played it once, but I played it all the way through, and it was one of the most mesmerizing gaming experiences of my life, and I enjoyed it so much that I got 2B tattooed on my leg. And one of my favorite characters is also another character named A2. And just the development of those characters in that game. That game was just so soul-crushing, dude. It was so soul-crushing. It's just so brutal. It's so heavy. And it just will stay with you forever. I feel like this is doing a decent job, of fitting into that world. And I know that there was the Nier Automata anime that I haven't watched. I haven't really been watching much anime lately. The only one that I've been watching is the summertime rendering anime, because my desire to watch anime lately is just non-existent. I grew up watching it and I'm kind of burned out. I'm not really that interested in it anymore. It was a big part of my life growing up, and now I'm too busy all the time. I got so much stuff going on. I barely have time to read manga to make videos for this channel. Even right now, the only reason I even might have a few weeks worth of content back to back is that I did an unboxing of this manga set behind me. So that allowed me to have, stuff where I could just drop a video every week. Otherwise, it's probably going to just continue to be a video every couple of weeks, because most of the projects I have are scripted or whatever. It's hard for me to get videos out, but I'm still doing it. I'm not giving up, and yeah, I really wanted to do this because of my love for, Nier Automata, and for the world that Yoko Taro created. My dog's getting up because he's tired of me talking. He's trying to get comfortable, and he's like, man, you talk too much, bro. He's staring at me. But in all honesty, I do want to see where the rest of this is going to go. Parts of the story and the characters are a little, I don't know, not that great. It's not really... Some of the writing isn't really super duper strong on this. I don't know if it's just the translation, but it's kind of basic. The way they speak and whatnot, the things they say. It's cliche. It's kind of cliched, but I mean the writing, the artwork is pretty solid. I really enjoyed the artwork a lot. I really wish that the dude who drew it, Megumu Soramichi, I wish that he would do his own manga or something, because I think that would be incredible. Or even if somebody else just writes the story and he draws, as is the case with Yora, Pearl Harbor Descent Record. I think that would be cool. Something else like an original idea. Not something that's been translated from a book or something into a manga, or a light novel into a manga. Or in this case, this is an offshoot. This is giving more to a backstory that takes place within the Nier Automata world. It would be cool to see a Nier Automata manga. I definitely would love to see that, an omnibus or something, of a Nier Automata manga that pretty much tells the whole story the way that the anime is doing now. I don't think that would be a bad idea. I would 100% buy it, because I just have so much love for this series, and I spent countless hours exploring the ruins getting to know 2B and 9S, and then later on getting to know A2, and A2 like becomes pretty much for the most part became definitely like my second favorite character next to 2B. But I think A2 for the most part had possibly the strongest, character development, from where she starts out just being like really aggressive and angry and whatnot, to like her line, about never realizing how beautiful the world is. I think it's a really solid game, and it's worth checking out if you haven't played it yourself. So that's all I have for you. I don't want to make this video any longer than it already is going to be. It's probably going to be like 20 minutes at this point. So I just want to say thank you so much for hanging out with me. Until next time we meet.
By the hands of God, I stand as a wrench between your wheeling cog, fastening my belt, bracing myself to withstand against all odds. Himself shadow runners, battle ready, murder dogs, rip the skin off your horses, triumph to smash the sorceress, lethal forces. The failure of your ambitions is more painful than divorces. Smash its own piece on the doorway, when the door hits, that's it. Call it quits, zipped up in plastic, cremated, melted like elastic. Dreams don't mean shit, in this life they don't exist.